Witch hunt is not just confined to Christians and Ahmadis. The law has been used to settle personal scores between ordinary Muslims. In April 1994, on the outskirts of Gujranwala, Dr. Farooq Sajid, a homeopathic doctor and devout Muslim, accidentally burned a copy of the Quran whilst making tea on his stove. He had been involved in a long-running quarrel with a cleric of a different Muslim sect. A neighbour's wife heard of the accident to his Quran and reported it to the rival cleric. Within minutes, a hostile crowd began to gather outside his door. They accused Dr. Farooq of deliberately burning the Quran and of converting to Christianity. They dragged him into the street and started beating him with a hammer.
अगली है गल सुनी कि उन्होंने चौंकी ला देना मस्जिद ऐलान करा दे कि ईसाई सी जी काफर से ने 2 कुरान पाक जला देने जी तुसी इस्लाम की खातिर जिहाद करो चौंकी पहुंचो जी
किसी ने ऐलान किया मस्जिद के अंदर कि जिस वक्त ऐलान होया ते ऐलान दे विच ओह लफज आ रहा सी कि इनू डॉक्टर नू कतल कर दियो ये ईसाई डॉक्टर है ते 3 कुरान इन्हें जलाए ने इस वक्त लोग जेडे ने फिर नाले भी कह रहे कि चौकी चले जाओ पुलिस दे कोलों खो के ते खुद असी मारना दे बड़ा बड़ा सवाब है।
A huge crowd, about 1,000 strong, attacked the police station with sticks and bricks and overpowered the police, who, according to witnesses, offered little resistance. Once they had dragged Dr. Farooq into the street, they stoned him.
डॉक्टर फरूक जेड़ा वो सूरत यासीन की तलावत करता सी बुलंद आवाज दे नाल और तीसरा कलमा पुकारदा सी ते एक कलमा पुकारन दे बावजूद वो इट्टा मारते रहने लोग।
Dr. Farooq was then doused with petrol before the mob tried to set him on fire. Finally, they chained him to a motorbike and dragged his naked body through the streets for nearly 3 hours.
भाई तन कलप कलप के मार के देखो लोग टिचकियां करके हाथे ने काफर नु मार के साढ़े सीने ठंड पई है किदों दा काफर सी काफर ते 5 मिनट है आपने जेड़े वक्त 5 मिनट तुसी कदी नमाज पढ़न कदी बकायदा नमाज पढ़ी होवे दी काफर ते बड़े आन जिन्हां गली गली च कुरान वाला जिन्हां दा पैसे न फलूंदे दी शक्ल ने कदे तरस दे रह गया से जिन्हां ने ना कीता वे ऐनी ने भांडो घरदार कुरान दी बड़ी बेइज्जती इन्हां ने आप ते गली गली कोने च कुरान इन्हां ने आप लिया वे इन्हां लोकां ने कहा जे तुसीं उन्हें पलूंजा मुंह वेखिया तुहानूं फड़ के गोली मार देनी है उत्थे महल्ले दी औरतां कहंदे मिट्टी दा तेल पा के काफ दी बीवी ने मिट्टी दा तेल पा के अग ला देना एक मेरा एडा छोटा बच्चा जिदे तो बाप नूं घसीटदे सन देखिया तो आने लोकां दे हत्थ जोड़दा सी कि मेरे बाप नूं ना घसीटो ते एक आदमी ने ओहदे मूंह ते थप्पड़ मारिया।
Dr. Farooq's lynching shocked the country, particularly when it became known that he was a Hafiz of Quran, or one who knows the Quran by heart. A case against those responsible for his murder was registered with the local police by grieving relatives. 1 year later, no arrests had been made. In the current political climate, there have been attempts to have other smaller sects declared non-Muslim. The Sunni-based Sipahi Sahaba is gunning for the Shias, who represent about 1/4 of the population. The schism between Sunni and Shia Muslims goes back 1400 years to a dispute over the succession to the Prophet Muhammad. Azam Tariq intends to introduce a bill in Parliament that will make insulting the companions of the Prophet also punishable by death. This measure is clearly aimed at the Shias.
हम शिया को इस्लाम से खारिज समझते हैं और उन्हें मुसलमान नहीं समझते। हम शियों के बारे में उनकी जो तबर्राबाजी है, जो साहबा की गुस्ताखी है, उसका रास्ता हम इस बिल के जरिए रोकेंगे कि जो इसका इर्तिकाब करे उसे कानूनी तौर पर और आम आवाम में हम ये बतला रहे हैं कि जब इनका इस्लाम से ताल्लुक नहीं है तो इनसे निकाह ब्याह रिश्ते नाते इनके साथ जो मुसलमान गैर मुस्लिम के साथ ताल्लुक रखता है वो रखा जाए, जो मुसलमान मुसलमान से रखता है वो शरीयत ताल्लुक तोड़ ली जाए।
The Sipahi Sahaba's campaign to extend the scope of the blasphemy laws has fueled sectarian conflict. Last year, violence between the majority Sunnis and the minority Shias escalated dramatically. Mosques were bombed and tit-for-tat killings took place between militants on both sides.
The opposition and the government and all political parties must get together to denounce not only sectarian intolerance between Muslims, but intolerance between Muslims and non-Muslims. The prospects of such courageous action on the part of our politicians seems remote, and sometimes I have a depressing feeling that a Christian will have to be hanged before the nation wakes up and insists on a repeal of this law.
But although the government says it's attempting to promote a tolerant and progressive Islam, it has not done so. Despite East's repeated requests for an interview, the government failed to respond. A week after their death sentence, Salamat and Ramat's appeal was heard in the Lahore High Court. Hostile Muslim militants protested outside the court and defied tight security to harass passing Christians. Many militants outside the court saw international media interest in the case as part of a Western conspiracy against Islam. Giving expression to this view is one of the main lawyers against the Christians, Rashid Murtaza Qureshi.
Because we say that if these boys are not guilty, please let them off. But we have to get to the root of the mischief, the hidden hand. That it's the Amnesty International, it's the anti-nuclear left. Real culprits are those who have been set up by the British government.
After a tense 2-week hearing, the verdict was expected in Ramat and Salamat's case. Outside, a small but committed group of militants waited. The court sat well into the night before delivering its judgment. Ramat and Salamat had been acquitted due to lack of evidence. Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto claims she is considering ways of amending the blasphemy laws to prevent bogus cases and to improve the poor image it has given her country. But does she have the political will to take on representatives of the religious right, like Arif Hussain Shah and the Khatmi Nabuwat?
इस कानून की सजा खत्म करने का मकसद ये है कि तौहीन रसालत जुर्म नहीं है, और ये हम बर्दाश्त नहीं कर सकते कि पैगंबर के नामूस को हम सरे बाजार रख दें। और ये किसी को कम अज कम मैं तो हक नहीं देता कि किसी आदमी का बुनियादी हक है कि वो पैगंबर की शान में गुस्ताखी करे या किसी मुसलमान की शान है, किसी अल्लाह के नबी की शान में गुस्ताखी करे।
The government has failed to take fanaticism to task. These people, I don't know, the West calls them fundamentalists. We don't do that here. We just call them terrorists. And they are spreading terrorism in the name of religion. They are being fed in the name of religion. They are earning in the name of religion. And they are threatening people in the name of religion.
Tonight, Ramat and Salamat are in Europe, where they've been given asylum. An alliance of militant Islamic organizations in Pakistan has issued a fatwa calling for their deaths. Pakistan's blasphemy law remains unchanged.